Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw, and I'm here at the famous Pierre Hotel in New York, and I'm with Francois Olivier-Luiggi, who's the general manager, and we have interviewed Francois before, but never like this. Now you could look two masked men, basically, and we're going to talk with Francois about what it's been like to reopen a luxury hotel here in Midtown Manhattan, including a famous, iconic one, and you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Well, first of all, Francois, thank you. It's great to be back here again under somewhat different conditions, right?
Yes, Jim, thank you. Always a pleasure to have you with us.
Let's talk about that first thing. What is it like to kind of reopen this hotel? And this hotel has a little bit of a difference because you are a residential hotel, so you had to be open for your residents the entire time. But then I believe in September, because you were closed from, let's say, March to September, you reopened as a hotel as well. What has that been like?
So, yes, half the Pierre are private apartments, and we stayed open to take care of the people who lived here permanently. And we still maintain, quite a bit of services, beyond security, but all the services we offer the apartments, housekeeping service every day, doorman, bellman, and all that. So we were ready to welcome guests as soon as we felt it was safe to add more people in the building. So we felt, that looking back, by August, we were in much better shape, so we opened early September.
So how has business been since then?
We were actually busier then than we are now. I think, obviously, with all the travel restriction, our primary audience are people who can drive to New York. So within, the 100-mile radius. And until they prevented travel from all states, then the East Coast basically could come and stay in New York for most of them. So
it was really getaways and people coming down to have that weekend at the Pierre or a few days at the Pierre, right?
It was interesting. There was a pent-up demand for celebration. People had missed so many things: anniversaries, birthdays, wedding celebration, things that got canceled, honeymoons. So at the beginning, we were actually quite busy. And every stay was something special, right, which we are used to having a high number of leisure travelers, but I think all the luxury hotel had to adjust to the fact that every single guest walking in the door was celebrating something really special.
Well, they pretty much had a good part of the hotel to themselves, though, at that point.
No, exactly. And actually, interestingly enough, that local traveler looking for unique experience was looking for an upgraded experience, suites, only rooms with Central Park views, all the amenities, champagne on arrival, everything they could do to make that stay special. And then we got to really assist them, the concierge team, to try and plan their 2-3 days in New York to really do special things. So we actually
get whatever's open, right?
Yeah. So, but there's observation decks, Hudson Yards, the Empire State Building, Top of the Rocks. We have a partnership with Saks Fifth Avenue where they will take you to their private club room where you're alone with an assistant, and it's a really fun shopping experience. There is no commitment. All your guests should do it. Yeah. It's really special.
Now, what have you managed to do in terms of all your health and safety protocols? What have you had to do to make this hotel safe from that perspective?
We got together with our team, and the priority was for us to feel safe coming to work. That was number one. Mm-hmm. So a lot of attention to, the nitty-gritty of coming to work, security, health checks. We use an app now, but we take temperature, answer the questions, locker rooms, reorganizing all the back of house so people are safe. Once the team felt safe, then we're trying to be in the guest's shoes and say the journey from the guest from the moment they enter the building until they're in their room, plexiglass partition, ability to interact with the concierge safely, ability to interact with the front office safely, And then we did a lot of, luggage disinfection, doorman, bellman assisting with your car. There's no more valet parking. People like to park their own car. So anyway, we're trying to find all the points that we can add a safety element. And of course, in the guest rooms, masks, sanitizing lotion, and we give everybody a little care package.
Yeah, well, of course, the one thing that is missing here is your food and beverage. I know I was offered breakfast in the morning, but your restaurant is closed, your bar is closed at this point, and I guess you can figure out ways to feed people at some point from takeout or something, but I'm not sure how else that happens.
So we try to support all the local businesses. There's a lot of independent restaurants around us that need our help, so we work with them. You can eat outside in New York. So actually from August until now, it's getting a little cold, but Madison Avenue was transformed into something maybe out of a Italian or French movie, not
Sure.
quite the...
It's like a cafe in Paris.
Not like the cafe culture in Paris or Vienna or Rome, but it got pretty close. And I think all the independent business around us, the stores, the shops, the restaurant on Madison Avenue have done an amazing job. You walk today outside and it feels special.
No, and I've dined in other parts of New York that was just, it did feel real special, of course, but now, unless you have heaters, it's going to get a little cold, or unless we were talking about maybe decide to go to lunch outside instead of dinner, right?
Yes, so we prayed, no snowstorm yet, and the weather is still holding up. But really what's missing at the Pierre is all the celebration, all our weddings. We have about, we do 80 to 100 weddings a year. And most people have decided to keep the date but turn it into a very small celebration.
In fact, the room we're in right now is this rotunda here, yes. And you see all the beautiful, and this is a popular venue for those weddings, right?
So now, to just have the ceremony with your parents, so maybe we have 8 people, and they want to do it in this room. Yeah. At least they mark the day they had planned, and we do a wonderful small dinner for them very safely. Some of them opt to have maybe the private dining room of one of our suites overlooking Central Park. And that's what we do, one a week. And some other clients have asked us to do it in their house.
Oh,
so
wow.
we
have a roving wedding for the Pierre, right?
So we've actually done a dozen of those outside, events in people's home with our team, chef team, and about 5-6 people go into that house and help finish the celebration or mark the date at least.
Kelsey and John, congratulations. We heard you were celebrating your original wedding date, and the Pierre was so excited to be a part of it. The Pierre will come to you.
The Pierre came to Long Beach Island, and it's an honor and a privilege to serve them and to do what we do best here.
So this is so exciting that we're doing this wedding dinner here today. We have a lot of exciting things to look forward to as far as the menu is concerned. So it starts with a beautiful heirloom tomato, peach, and burrata salad, which will then move into ravioli with butternut squash and sage. And then for the main course, we are on Jersey Shore, so we have to do something that is fit for the location. So we planned a beautiful surf and turf, and this is bringing the pier, a slice of pier, into Jersey Shore. This is beautiful.
That's great. Now, and this is a beautiful room, and I know you have other beautiful rooms. I've seen them in the when we came here before, but for now,
this is special. This is sort of, there is one postcard of the Pierre. It's this room. Okay. Really, a lot of people have been through this room over the years since 1930. So.
Absolutely. Now, have you done any renovations or anything during this time when you were closed? I know you talked about a little bit, maybe some of the back of the house stuff and the air, the air conditioning and heating and all that. Right?
So we started replacing all our heating and air conditioning equipment, and we're upgrading right now to the latest technology that was identified, all the MERV filters and bringing more outside air. We started with areas the employees use, so the kitchen, the laundry. Now we're working our way through the lobby and public spaces, and we'll soon, in about a couple of months, we will have finished all the guest corridors. So probably by May 1st, the Pierre will have 100% brand new HVAC equipment of the latest standard. So we're happy about that.
That's great. And then hopefully next year you can start thinking about some other renovations if you want to do so. That's great.
Absolutely. We want to stay ahead of the curve. So we are thinking, all of us have made changes to our lobbies, the way people arrive. So I think I know a lot of my colleagues are taking some notes and thinking, you know what, some of it we can make changes, adjustments. I guess or putting ourselves in the guest shoes. So more to look forward to at the Pierre.
Now, how has COVID changed you delivering a luxury experience? What has changed in terms of delivering a luxury experience here at the Pierre?
It's a good point. I mean, we listen to the customer right now. What matters to them is feeling safe, obviously, but the level of interaction, the opportunities we have to interact with the guests have really shrunk to very few touch points now. But so we're concentrating on the sense of arrival. There is no reason, even during COVID, you don't feel a warm welcome, and you have an opportunity to interact safely with the concierge team, the front office team, and try and make your stay truly special. So we've pushed ourselves to make sure that we engage with every single customer at least as early as we can, a week before, 3-4 days before the stay. So our chef concierge, Maurice, Yvette, and the rest of the team are able to make that connection and make sure the guest does not arrive at the Pierre without us knowing everything about them.
As you would normally, so you knew, although the only difference is that some of the service you ordinarily would provide, you can't because there is less contact, right?
Yes, less contact, and people do not want service in their room. They don't want even meals delivered inside their room. So we find ways to do it. You know, we have the most beautiful park in the world right in front of the hotel. We have done a lot of things in Central Park. Suddenly people look at walking tours of Central Park, romantic, again, proposals, engagement parties on some of the famous bridges. So we use everything that's around us. We're in an amazing spot.
Well, it's definitely, it's a very different times here now. What would you tell travel advisors about this property right now, and how what to tell their guests in terms of how they can best enjoy it?
We've started a promotion actually based on the feedback we received, where we're offering the guests to book the entire floor. Obviously, we have small floors with a suite and a few rooms.
How many rooms is it?
The Pierre is 189 rooms.
Okay, right.
But this, you can get the whole floor for yourself, at least be the only guest on that floor, is really attracting people and interest. The windows open, there's fresh air, it's a classic building. So that's one. The shopping experience is one, because the stores are open and actually doing well. A lot of New Yorkers have nowhere to go, so they are hanging out in the city. Yeah. So please note that New York is a great place to visit right now.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell our 75,000 travel advisors about out there? Because both you and I have not had an opportunity to go out to our normal meetings this year to chat with them.
I know, so I'm going to look at you. But there's two big things we're looking forward to, where people would start planning now. Is May is one of the busiest months in New York for graduation, and I really hope that when comes January and things settle with this pandemic, hopefully, people start planning their 2-week visit to New York. Celebration with the family getting together. A lot of people skipped graduation last year, and maybe there will be opportunities to celebrate a year later, right. Still be with your friends and colleagues. So that's a huge month. And the other big thing we're looking forward to and praying for is an amazing US Open of tennis.
Yeah, which is in August, September, right? Yeah.
So, and again, travelers know those things are usually booked January, February is when people start looking at their calendar and planning the May, summer, and August. So we'll stay optimistic, and that's what we look forward to.
Well, Francois, again, it's great to see you again, and thank you very much. I'm staying here the night to check it out, what it's like to be. I have my own floor, by the way, but that's I just don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. So it's been great to see you, and thank you for letting us come and see how you're doing now in this very, very strange era. Next time I come back, we'll lose the masks, and it'll be a very different experience. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Thank you.
I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.